got to spend. I'm a going home. My baby used to hook me without me no more. Anyway, yeah, she wrote me a letter, said she couldn't live without.
We got some very cool guests today. If you haven't guessed who they are, hopefully this will give you a clue.
The mystery on my show, the best show, Mr. T.
Hey, I'm always amazed when this technology works.
You and me both.
Anyway, is this gonna, let me lower this. There we go. That's a little better.
Uh-huh.
No, I'm just plugging along.
Hold on, I gotta get these.
All right, there it is.
That's okay. Regular viewers will know that the first 10 minutes of this show is me fucking up technically in some way, shape, or form.
Oh, and look at you. Is that your bottle rocket mic?
Yeah, I got me a little blue mic here. There's usually a whole little thing that I put on, but it looks silly.
Oh, yeah,
see,
your
you've
eyeball.
got your thing. See,
Yeah,
look
I
at
got
that.
my
That's very
blue up there
professional.
too.
That's very professional.
My son stole my Chaotica eyeball, so I
Did
don't
he?
have that anymore.
Do they work? Does your son do voiceover or music or something like that?
He does music.
Okay.
Yeah.
What type of
Yeah,
music?
he's out there making it happen. He's got a new song that just hit 20,000 streams.
Wow.
Right?
That's really good. I don't know if you know that, but that's really good.
I do not have any reference point for it, but But if you tell me it's good, hey, I could hook a brother up. You want to rap on one of his tracks?
Done. I'm there. So, thank you so much, Phil, for being on this show. I don't know if you know anything about this show, but it's the only late night midday talk show presently on my Instagram.
The only.
The only one that is currently here. I was doing some background research. We know each other a little bit. We're buddies. I don't want to fully say friends yet because I haven't been to your home. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I feel like you have to go before that. You have to go to someone's home. How long before you say, "Hey, I'm friends with that guy"? I feel like it's very Hollywood. It's awkward to try and, you know what I mean? It's weird.
And especially among like black actors, because there are people that are like my audition friends who I have known for 25 years. And we catch up with, it's like, hey man, you were moving last time. Yeah. Oh, you got the divorce. Oh yeah. I mean, you actually know people's lives, but I never seen them any place except in a casting office.
Yes.
100%. I think I met you through a casting office. I think we were probably both going in for some pilot season or something. You know what I mean? And you were I remember this. I remember you just were just nice and you talked. And I was like, this is crazy, man. Look, this is Hollywood. Hollywood's crazy. He was nice to me and said and had an anecdote. I was like, I love Black Hollywood.
Right?
You know?
That was you came in right about the time there was such a thing.
Yeah. I loved it because I feel like black actors, we see each other at audition is like seeing a cousin. You know what I mean? It's always just like, hey man, how you doing, man? I heard. Good. All right now.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So look, tell us, I know. Now the cool part is that I get to, just via doing this show, I get to ask you all the sort of fan questions I wanted to know that I didn't ask you because personally it would just look ridiculous and I have to act as though I'm a peer when I'm around you. Do you know what I mean? Right?
Exactly.
So I know people know you from TV and from movies and from voiceover, your preeminent work all over everything, Samurai Jack, Rick and Morty, Family Guy. We'll get into all of those things, all right? We'll get into, Black Lady Sketch Show. We'll get into Supergirl. We'll get into all of that. I want to know, right, How did you get into Hollywood? How did you join into this? What was your background? Because I saw you were at Harvard, you were at Yale. You're one of the few people I know who attended both. Like, what was your background there? And then how did that lead into like improv and comedy and all of that stuff?
Well, it's funny because it's sort of two-pronged. There was my first professional job, which I got in high school. And now, mind you, just for correction, I went to Harvard High School.
There's a Harvard High School?
Named Harvard. Not to Harvard University.
Got it.
But believe me, I've been dining out on that for 30 years. Yes, I went to Harvard and Yale. Because after I graduated Harvard High School, then I went to Yale College.
Got it. Not as impressed anymore. Not nearly as impressed. Only Yale?
Right. But it's, well, the hilarious thing is none of these titles mean anything except what people perceive. Because when I got into Yale, as a kid coming from the West Coast, Yale meant smart. But then I became an actor, and everybody assumed, oh, you went to Yale drama, like Angela Bassett and Meryl Streep. I'm like, sure, why not? And it's all this just like, perception thing. But no, I got a job. A friend of my mother's, a woman named Phyllis Tucker Vinson, who my mother went to junior college with. Mm-hmm. She went on to become the highest ranking Black woman in television. This was back in 1980 something, and she was the highest ranking woman in entertainment, Black woman in entertainment, until Channing Dungey in 2015.
Which just happened, Sister to Marin Dungey. That also tells you like the breadth of history. Like, Black Americans are still making firsts in every part of every industry. Do you know what I mean? Like, people thought about it as like, who was before Kerry Washington? Diane Carroll, like 50 years before. Do you know what I mean? A friend of mine said all of our new stars are old stars. Like, all of the Black stars are from like 30, 40 years ago. You know what I mean? We don't talk about the Ashton Saunders as quickly as we do the Till of Me, sha-la-la-la-las. I've been going at them a lot recently. I don't know why. Clearly I'm reading some magazine that they're both in and angry about it. Justin Simeon joined the chat from Dear White People. You need to be on that show. I'm lobbying for you to be there.
No, I need to be on his podcast. Is he still doing the podcast?
I think he is, man. He's doing so. He need to. Yeah. I feel like Black voices are definitely, we are amplifying each other and people are listening very much at that moment. What does this moment feel like to you?
Well, it's interesting because I'm not a revolutionary. I'm a survivor. Mm-hmm. So my thing, hey, Justin, my thing has always been, let me get the lay of the land. Let me figure out where it's safe to stand and how I can get through this, and it's funny because a lot of times I've always been the one who's gotten, crapped on for that. It's like, oh, you're not Black enough. You're not. It's like, well, when they start putting people up against the wall, I'm gonna be Black enough for that. So, you tell me what I'm doing. But this moment right now is really interesting because I'm curious. We're in a time frame where attention spans are short, and my fear is we're going to fall into what you just cited, where like when Diane Carroll got her show, she broke the barrier. It was cover of Ebony and Essence. Ooh, la la la. But it didn't stick. It didn't actually cause a systemic change, and it's interesting because a lot of people, are flying flags, but a flag ain't a country. A flag's a symbol, It's laws that make up the real country. And when we start changing the laws, then we get real change. As the civil rights movement showed, it wasn't just about the marching, and so I'm just waiting to see if this is just about the protests, and then when the next thing comes along, as so much happens now that we're in internet culture, you know, I just want to make sure that we all dig deep, dig down, and make sure that substantive change occurs, long-term change, you know. Otherwise, we're going to be doing the same thing again.
Yeah, that's very much true. What do you think? So it's funny. So I feel like Hollywood is trying to change and is never sure how. Right? Like they're always the last person. They're like your math teacher asking you about hip hop, or like, you know, just the white guy that just comes to you. He's like, "Have you heard about this Rosa Parks? What is it? How have you seen Hollywood change since you started and to now? And what has been the difference been, for good and for bad?"
Well, it's funny because, you know, a lot of folks, young folks, feel like we got so far to go. But from my perspective, because my first job was in '84 on the Mr. T cartoon.
Yeah, I played a little bit of it.
I know, which was hilarious. I'm like, nobody remembers that. But the hilarious thing is, if you look at that cartoon, it's more diverse than 80% of the stuff that's on the air now. And everybody cast on that show was, you know, ethnically authentic.
Interesting.
Hilarious.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was definitely an outlier. One, it was using kids to play kids, and it was, you know, ethnically mixed. I think Phyllis had a lot to do with that, you know, as a black woman in a position of power. And to me, the real change comes from two directions. It comes from the ground up. You know, Obama happened because there was a whole generation of young white people who grew up listening to hip hop. And they had broken through the barriers that were in the minds of the generation ahead of them. But it's also got to come from the top, especially these days when billionaires are driving our country, you know, and there's a lot of stuff that can't happen if those powers that be decide it is not going to happen, you know. So I'm waiting for us, you know, on the ground to make our voices heard and and make sure they know, no, you can't just like throw us a bone and then go back to business as usual. Because that's what the top is going to try to do, unless we get some real, like, you know, conscious people in positions of authority. So as far as Hollywood change, my joke is when I came up, I was auditioning for gang member parts.
Yeah.
And getting them.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like I say that now, people go, "What? You would never be some gang member." Yep. Look at CBS in 1991. Phil LaMarr as Zebo. You know.
I remember that. I think one of your earliest dramatic roles, I think, was as Sidney Thompson, I think, on NYPD Blue. If you remember that. So here, of course, is a scene of you from
Shut up.
NYPD Blue right here.
Brother got clips. Oh, wait, nope, that's not it.
There's only one trick, buddy.
What is this?
It's a hard
That's
life
not NYPD
you're
Blue.
chosen to.
This is it right here.
This angel's gone bad.
You know what? That was that was Price of Glory. My bad. That was just couldn't find a clip. I just played Price of Glory, which is also.
Are you in that?
No, I think maybe Jimmy Smits maybe is in it. That's
Maybe why it came up.
But if you haven't seen it, please see Price of Glory. If you get a chance, as well as your role on as Debo or D-Row.
Yeah. No, I mean,
Transition.
the big change that's happened, I think, is we have a few more folks in positions where they're creating, and there's definitely a greater consciousness of the fact that there should be more representation. Because I was thinking about this just the other day, because you came out here, what, late
I was here 2003. It came over with Luis Guzman.
Oh, right. Oh, so you were in the 2000s, yeah. So by then, people were conscious. Back in the 90s, when I was coming up, it was still old-time TV. I remember I interned for a casting woman, a woman named Carol Dudley. She was casting Jake and the Fat Man.
Yes,
And this was
wow.
some old-timey TV people. The director in 1986 was a second-generation TV director. His daddy had done TV in the 50s, and now he was in it.
Yeah.
And Carol was woke before that word happened. She was casting a army colonel that the Jake or the Fat Man or somebody was interviewing. She brought in black actors, Asian actors, you know, people who would be believably career military. And these producers didn't have nothing to do with that. Like, nah, they don't look like colonels.
Yeah.
And the guy they hired was not the best actor. It was a white guy with a square head and his own colonel hat who looked like a colonel from TV. And poor Carol, just like she said, I don't care what they say, I'm going to keep trying.
Now, I mean, that's the interesting thing is that, you know, you are a veteran of the business and you've seen it. You've been a part of the things that change and the things that stayed the same. You, I think, are a landmark not only for being one of the most prolific voice actors, being an iconic actor, but, you know, you played Samurai Jack, right? Which was a very interesting thing because I think we are used to white actors playing a variety of roles. To a certain extent, I think they see themselves as the default. You know what I mean? You've seen white actors play chairs to aliens to different ethnicities. You know what I mean? It is abundant and ubiquitous. You know, I think it was very probably one of the few times in American cartoon history where you saw a black man play a different ethnicity, you know, and at the same time, I think, you know, we've seen it somewhere in theater, you know, or maybe not. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But I think we hadn't seen it that much to my extent. How did you feel about playing that role? And what do you feel as a voiceover artist and about the role of ethnicity in cartoon and voiceover work? It's a very small question, just out of nowhere.
Right. Yeah, right.
Blurt out whatever you feel like.
The funny thing is, and this is what, you know, because this conversation is happening now, and I find this happens a lot of people have no memory and they can't, I mean, you saw it with the Me Too movement. A lot of people seeing 1978 behavior through 2016 eyes. It's like, you know, and you had people going, what would I do? Nobody was wearing pants at that party. What, you know? And there's a similar thing when you're looking at ethnicity in representation now versus 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when we were talking about Samurai Jack 20 years ago, it was obviously the character was set in ancient Japan, but nobody was thinking of it as an ethnic character per se, you know, because it wasn't realistic. Like something like Static Shock, you know, the characters on that, we were looking at, you know, we had Latino characters, we had, you know, Asian characters, and those were very consciously specific, you know, like, but once you get into the fantasy realm, people, at least back then, were less conscious. Although, I have to say, I do not remember there being any white people at the audition. I remember there were, you know, Asian actors. I was just talking to a buddy of mine who's an Asian voice actor who was there. And actually, he was starring in an animated show at the time. And I'd have to look it up, but I would guess that those two shows were the only animated shows with leads that are, you know, of Asian, you know, ethnicity.
Yeah.
But the funny thing was, when I got the part, you know, I was like, oh, cool. And I wondered, I wonder if the fact that I'm not white factored into it. You know, because obviously there's a very problematic history of white portrayals of Asian characters.
Yeah.
Just like there's, you know, bad history with white portrayals of black characters.
Yes.
You know, going way back. you know, and in very consciously negative ways.
Yes. I mean, going back, probably the oldest, most original form of theater in America is minstrelsy. You know, vaudeville came out of minstrelsy.
Right.
You know, then early television came out of that, and then modern comedy came out of that.
And it's funny because I was just reading up on this, and the reason, and the fact that cartoon characters still wear white gloves.
Which is a throwback to minstrel shows. That's so funny. Yeah. If you look at it back in the day, Tweety Bird, there'd be like a big black ass mammy that carried Tweety before the old white lady. There was like the little Tweety, and she'd be like, "Come here, Tweety Bird," and she just flip it and flap her wings, and just come. Here's the other thing, right? So I feel like there's a million and one Twitter themes. I'm getting relaxed now. I done had some drinks. I can make these transitions a lot clearer. That's the other thing is that like there's all these memes where it's just like us, police, stop killing us, them. All right, less cop shows. Us, police, stop killing us. Okay, white people, stop voicing black characters. Us, police, stop killing us. We put Black Lives Matter on the street. Like, it's like all of these, like, I'm glad that you are getting to the micro and macro aggressions. Like I'm very thankful and happy that these things are being addressed, because there's things that we care about in various sections of our community that we've been complaining or vying for change or trying to correct for years. But it's also this bigger thing. What change would you like to see? Like, what do you like? Where do you think is the next move to go? Do we need more representation in cartoons? Do we need the cops to stop killing us, or do we need more movies in blackface? If more white people could say nigger, would that equalize things?
How does that?
Well, no, that's a really interesting point, because you're talking about, you know, life and death issues, you know, versus symbology. And the truth of the matter is, one affects the other. You know, representation and imagery, the normalization of black faces in media has helped, you know, level this playing field and made people. The big difference I'm seeing between the unrest that's happening now and in 1992, because I was here in LA when Rodney King went down. The big difference is we now live in an American society where people know it's not okay to be racist. You know, there was a period where it's like, okay, black people, you know, like the 50s and 60s, oh, they're upset. But if if a white person was labeled as racist, that didn't matter. You know, and now this whole thing of like the R word, you know, like there is the social stigma attached to being racist is now bigger than the social stigma attached to being black. And I believe that is the first time in American history that is true. And that is good for us, you know, because we are now, you know, it's still not equal, you know, but you're getting there. And you also have some leverage, you know, because before, as you saw in prior to the Me Too movement, if a woman complained and a man said, no, I didn't, it was done. Same thing, black and white. There, you know, the playing field was so unleveled that you had no recourse, you know.
Yeah. No, sorry. Someone called me. Obviously, they didn't know I'm recording a podcast. They're an idiot.
Close friends.
Everyone should know. I can't believe they didn't get my newsletter about the podcast.
What? Because you still sending the damn thing on paper.
I did. That's probably what it is. That's the other thing. I don't know how to tell people shit that's going on. I assume if I put it on Twitter or Instagram that it's going to happen. And then I have close friends that go, hey, what are you doing tomorrow at 3? The show I've been promoting for 6 months. That's what I'm. But no one knows. This is me.
Algorithm.
It's algorithms and meaning. So I'm trying to transition. I didn't mean to go this deep this early, but I feel like it had the conversation happened where it happened. That's where we are.
And also, I mean, this is where it's 2020. How do you not go deep every single
Here's the
moment of the day?
thing, man.
Like I got a bunch of shit, right? I just only within the last 2 weeks have I like started doing research and making it a real show, because I had a guest that was like, I didn't know them, so I was like, oh, I gotta find out about them. So now I'm like finding my rhythm of going like, oh, live show, because I hate where they just make the person it's boring. I don't like it boring.
Right. No, I know what this means. Y'all, you know what this means? This means Malcolm's about to try to sell this. That's why he's putting in work now.
I don't want to blow out the mic with my ridiculous laughter. What the fuck? So, in all honesty, like, what the fuck do we do? Like, as like this use.
Okay. All right. You know what we do?
What?
You and me are actors. We shut the fuck up
Get it?
and let people who know, people who study, people who really looking at the history and figuring out, let them talk. Because this is my big problem with society, the death of expertise.
Yeah.
Everybody who can fucking type and post something thinks they know. It's like, I read an article where they said coronavirus is a hoax. Fuck you. Ask a doctor.
Can I tell you?
Not a doctor.
I
Just
want a
like you can
shirt.
Go to WebMD.
I want a shirt that says "Fuck you, ask a doctor." So badly. Honestly, I'm getting these shirts made. We can share the profits, however you want to do the money, but definitely "Fuck you, ask a doctor." I think you're right. Can I tell you? I keep having black people on the show, not because we're experts, but because I feel like black people are more prone to talk during this moment and want to say something. White people are like, let me just wait this out, and I'm fine with that. I'm really fine with that. I like you to say things because I want to know how racist you are, but I'm also fine with it. But another thing I keep seeing is that what I love about talking to my black actor buddies is that a lot of us are like, I'm not a fucking expert. I'm not an expert. I don't know what to fucking do. There's people that devote their lives, their times, their book, their bodies, their limbs, people they work with to figure out what the fuck is going on. And they know better than me, and they can explain better than me, you know?
And they can make a plan better than us. I will retweet the hell out of it, after researching to make sure it's true.
Yeah. So let's pivot. That's the other thing I'm trying to figure out is that it's like, for people who cared, this is my next book. My first T-shirt is "Fuck you, ask a doctor." I just got into a thing on Twitch / just video games. We're trying to talk to a motherfucker about wearing masks. And you gotta do. Here's the thing about stupid people. Not that he's stupid, but here's the thing about stupid people. You got to talk to him like
He ain't listening.
He's not watching. If he watches, I hope you're watching. I say the same shit to your face from 6 feet away with a mask on. Just, hey man, just listen to other people. You're not the smartest guy in the room. Stop risking the world on the idea that maybe you're smarter. That's fine. That's fine. You know what? That's fine for you to disagree, but it can't be like, yeah, so anyway, my plan is to maybe risk all of your lives. I feel like black people's plans are like, hey, don't kill me. And then like maskers' plans are, hey, this might kill you. And I'm okay with that.
Right.
Moving on from that tangent. That's just me yelling at a friend. What I love is that we're all going, hey, read someone more intelligent than me. Like, learn from someone else. Like, I feel like, Dave Chappelle has that thing in his sketch, in his TV Netflix thing, 748 942, whatever that is, where it's just like, hey, if you just look around to other people, they know things, and you can ask them. Do you know what I mean? Like there are people who know.
Well, see, that's where I think Dave needs to be a little more specific, because that's the problem. That look around and ask people. That's Facebook intelligence.
Okay.
And that's why we got motherfuckers chasing their tails and living in bubbles. Everybody I know thinks, but if everybody you know is an idiot and is only responding to the things that make them feel good, then you ain't getting nowhere.
Yeah.
And you're certainly not making any good decisions.
What are you listening to right now? What makes you feel like I know what's going on? Like, how do you? What are you doing, man? How are you staying sane? What are the three things? Because I give random things numbers.
Right. What are the three?
Tina's in here.
Is that the real Tina? Is that somebody fake? Is that a fake Tina?
You know what's weird is fake people. Tina, Burl, we're all here. There's this weird thing where people fake like they're someone else.
Right?
It's weird. I don't understand why you do that.
Like, I'm Malcolm Barrett, 286.
Yeah.
I follow, and then you have to put out a thing. I follow, I think his name is Jason Wilson. I'm not good with memory because of the weed, but he's like he teaches martial arts and there's always like this very positive shit. But he had to be like, I'm not that guy or something like that. Like, I feel like you always have to. It's a weird thing where you have to go like, hey, I'm not that fake person. Someone's lying to pretend I'm me.
Right. Justin says he's really Janet Jackson.
First of all, I can't believe Justin's still in this. I feel like he should be doing more. I mean, you're interesting, but I just feel like he should have other stuff to do. Barry Jenkins was in one of these motherfuckers the other day. And yeah, because Marquis was here. That's what it is. I try to have someone that's like more important than me in at least one way. And then that feels like I'm doing something. Like, I can think of like just off the top 3 ways like you're more successful than me. Like, there's like 48, but like I can think, and no, it helps. We're gonna be nice to each other, blah blah blah. But like it just off rip.
I'm like, okay, this boom.
I'm
I
just
think it should be on the show.
It helps. All of it's good. That's the thing, though. We need to listen to motherfuckers. That's the thing. Motherfuckers just want to listen to like people that don't know shit. You know what I mean? I feel like you know shit.
Like Tina said, confirmation bias. Well, and people on both sides need to check their facts. Don't retweet something until you go too deep. Like there was, I have a dude I work with. I follow on Facebook. He's a little right wing, and this was when I stopped following him. He posted a video of what was it supposed to be of? A Muslim guy in France trying to interrupt a Catholic prayer, and a guy got up and punched him. And he was like, "See those Muslims trying to disrupt." And I looked at his link, and then I went to see where he got that link, and that was from some right-wing website. But they picked it up from a different right-wing website, and they picked it up from a UK newspaper. I went back to the original article, and it was an article about a crazy motherfucker who hit somebody for no reason. And there's no mention of the guy being black, being Muslim. But once you take this video out of context, it's like, well, a guy darker than a paper bag in France, probably a Muslim, and playing to this anti, Middle Eastern, bigotry.
Phil,
and they just they took the truth and just destroyed it to play to these people's bigotry.
Phil, you already 4 of those steps were longer than I wanted to be involved in. It made me have to think. It made me have to research. I had to go back.
You know what, motherfucker? You don't want to think? Move to Russia.
I don't. First of all,
China. In a democracy, we need to think. That we're hiring other people to go and have to write the shit up. It's our job to think about what they wrote.
That sounds like a lot of work. I just wanted to tweet. I thought it was funny, and it supported what I already believed. So
I don't want to think. I just want to tweet.
I just.
Why do we have to vote at all?
I don't want to have to vote. And honestly, I'm mad that you have the right to vote. I really wish you didn't. I'd rather you didn't have the right to vote and that I didn't have to retweet.
Wait, you, Malcolm,
Uh-huh.
did you become a billionaire?
Hey, I'm a jajillionaire now, okay?
Because that's who really doesn't want people to vote. It's like, here's my vote.
No, I'm the Hector Concarne of voting. I looked it up. I did.
The research.
Ooh, let's get an Evil Con Carne reboot. But now, instead of being an evil scientist, Hector Con Carne is simply an internet billionaire.
He's just.
Quickly, Boskov, retweet the algorithm. I want to eliminate all of the people who disagree with me from Facebook.
I love that people think billionaires would become Batman, and they do. It's just that they're still gonna hit you if you're dark. Here's okay. So this is perfect. We're gonna play a game that I just made up 4 minutes ago.
Oh, okay.
Here's where I go into the planned aspects of my fake TV show. This next bit is called voiceover. No, wait. It's called a voice off.
Voice off.
All right, you ready? It's you do iconic voices. We'll do like 3 rounds of it. You'll do like characters you've played, like iconic voices you have, like monologues people probably know, right? Big fan favorite shit. You know what I mean? Some version. You don't have to get it exactly right. Right? And then I will guess the character, the name of the show, the episode, and the year that it's from.
What?
I'll guess all of it.
Okay.
All right, it's 4 rounds of it. If I get 2 out of 4, I win.
Right. Okay. Let me preface this. See, Malcolm, you work on camera.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all motherfuckers memorize your lines.
Okay.
We don't.
Okay.
So you trying to get me to go back and pick up some lines from shit 15 years ago. That's from a specific episode.
I understand. Look, people ask me to do timeless shit. That shit was canceled 3 to 4 years ago. I don't remember anything, but
yeah, but I watched it, Malcolm, so you owe me.
yeah, I remember lines in my head, and I don't even remember the lines. They're just the effect I have. Like in my version of every show, it goes, "I'm smarter than you," but that's not none of the lines.
Right.
That's not any of the lines. But it's me going, "It's 1958. I'm smarter than you, motherfuckers." Like, but but I don't think that's any of the lines.
No, I can play this.
Okay, we'll play a game. You can take whatever time you want. Okay. Hold on. I gotta get my doctor. Hold on. I have a doctor who, because I'm a nerd. I got this from a vet, I think, or maybe
Okay.
this Doctor Who watch.
It's a Doctor Who watch.
Yeah.
Wait, from a dog vet or
No, it's a from the TV show Doctor Who.
right? No, I
Yeah.
thought you said you got it from a vet.
Oh, Yvette.
Oh. Oh.
This is amazing.
Oh shit.
All right, so
Timeless.
we timeless out this bit. That's
Okay.
Burl. I know Burl. Me and Burl have not talked about this, but I almost guarantee he's a huge fan of yours. I can almost guarantee. Oh, and I have a whole thing. Can I tell you, Phil? I have so many things that I have planned. I threw them out the window, so we could talk about black people.
Right.
So you ruined my show.
What are you gonna do when you have a white guest on? It's gonna be like a 3-minute show.
Here's the thing. I haven't run out of black guests. I haven't. There's like a lot more than you think there are. Okay, so we're gonna play voices off, voice off. Here's my timer.
Oh, there's a timer. Okay.
Yeah. And so you do a monologue. I'll guess the name of the show, the character, the episode, and the year. Go.
Some of you do half-ass jobs, and others of you do jobs with an ass ratio of 40 to 80%.
I don't know that one.
What?
I don't know.
All right, but it was a great. What was it?
Wait, somebody in the chat? Thank you, Lee Ferguson.
What was it?
Futurama. The character. What is
Hermes Conrad.
Hermes?
Certified bureaucrat level grade 36.
Got it. Okay. Okay.
Yet another character with which I will not be able to play if this stuff keeps going. It's like,
We're good.
you know what? Jamaican bureaucrats from the future should be played by Jamaican bureaucrats from the future.
Look, all I know is that when I see the movie about John Wayne Gacy, I just want that to be played by someone who's killed somebody. Brian Dennehy better murdered at least 3 people. All right, okay, so second round. Let's go. Different character. Totally different character. I'll name the name of the show, the character, the episode, and the year. Go.
GAOL. That's how they spelled jail in the old days.
I don't know that one.
You need a hint?
I don't know what is that one.
You showed a clip.
From Mr. T? Mr. T.
No. What's the character?
Wyatt?
Ooh, so close.
Dion? What is that one? What is that one?
That was Woody Daniels.
Woody Daniels?
Yep.
From Mr. T.
From Mr. T. And the only reason I remember that line is that's the line I auditioned with. So I'm assuming it's from the first episode.
Okay, which was in
1983.
1983. Okay. All right. I got 2 more chances. Okay. All right. All right. One more. Okay. Name another show. Do another. It'll be the voice. It'll be the voice, and an iconic line, and I will know the name of the show, the episode, and the year.
Give me just a second.
I'm gonna go easy on you on this.
This one is. I'm ready for it. Hold on. Give me just. Ready? Let's go. I got it. Let's do it.
All is lost. Not while I'm standing. In brightest day, in blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power. Green Lantern's light! Now, if you don't get this, I'm kicking you out of Blurred Brunch.
It's a comic book.
Yeah, which one do you think? I said the goddamn name.
Green. Sorry.
Okay. Incredible Hulk. It's Incredible Hulk. It's David Banner from Incredible Hulk. I got it.
He's joking, right, people?
I got it. I got it.
Really?
It's David Banner.
What did I just say? What was the end? Did you hear what I
The
said?
Green
Beware.
Green Lantern, the Incredible Hulk.
Wow. You must be Marvel up the ass. Nope. It's a character of Jon Stewart, the Green Lantern, from the animated series Justice League.
The Daily Show.
I got it.
He playing with me. He playing with me, people. See, next time we're gonna put money on this shit, so Malcolm will take it serious.
One more. Okay, this one is for it. This is the win. This is the win. No matter what, bonus. I get it. If I get it, I win all of it. The other rounds don't count. You give me the character, a monologue that the character does, like a famous monologue. I'll tell you the character, the name, the episode, and the year.
Okay. Ready? Tell me when. Tell me.
Got it. Ready. Go.
In my country, we celebrate with a song and dance. Slap, 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 clap, 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 slap, 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 clap, 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 slap, 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 clap, clap, clap. Boy, we worship giant space rock.
Yeah, I told you I was going to take it easy on the last one, not on this one.
That's a real character that you're doing.
It's actually one that somebody in the chat had asked for because they knew you wouldn't ever get it. That's right, Harvey. Alphonse is in here too.
It's from that you. It's a real character that you play.
Mm-hmm.
From Harley Quinn. Is that it?
Nope. Go back a little further.
Is it? Is it a real character that you play on television?
Yes. What is the episode number?
I don't know that you've actually really played this character. What is his name?
Chat. Look in the chat. They know.
I don't think it's a real character. Is it a character? What's his character's name?
It's Bolby Stroganovsky from the Nickelodeon show The Adventures of Jimmy Neutron.
Huh. I've never heard of that show.
I didn't think you had. That's why I did it.
So
Thank you, Phil, for being on the show. Phil does a lot of different voices. We're gonna talk about. We got one or two things we're gonna talk about. So here's a question. Here's where I go to. This section is called Fan Quest. It's where I.
You see what Justin said? I've never heard of such a thing. How is that possible? Are you sure this is real?
all right.
I don't believe anyone would ever really do that voice, Phil.
So
And how would I not have heard of it?
so this part is called Fan Quest.
It's where I ask the questions that fans want to know.
Okay.
All right.
So it's not anything I care about. I'm not interested in any of it. All right. It's only questions fans want to know. All right. Fan Quest. Fan questions. Are you ready? All right. So in Pulp Fiction, how did you get that role? How much was improvised? Did you know it was going to be good? Do you hate it now? Are you still friends with anybody? You have less than 60 seconds.
To answer all those questions. No, I got the part because I did a improv comedy show with Quentin Tarantino at the Groundlings. And he remembered me from that show and brought me into audition. What was the other 9 parts of that?
Yeah.
I knew it was going to be great. There was no improvisation because it was like one of the best scripts I have read in my 50 plus years. It was in fact, I think there were probably only 2 things from the last draft to the shooting script that changed. It didn't need to change. It was just perfect in tone. Do I hate it? No, I love it. It was a great set. You know, everybody was great. Everybody wanted to be there. By the end of the shoot, still Friday nights, everybody going out for drinks on Friday night. Even Travolta came out for drinks. You know, what else? What part of your question did I miss?
Who was the best actor on that? How much did the script change in terms of? I heard some rumor about Travolta changing the scene where you get shot. Like, how is that different than what was written?
Right. Okay. Well, the only two things that are different in the movie. One, Sam Jackson changed the pig reference in the diner scene because his thing was because the original line was, "Wait, you mean if a pig were more charming, it wouldn't be a filthy animal?" It's like, yeah, but we have to be talking about one charming motherfucking pig. It has to be the Cary Grant of pigs. And Sam just really thought that Jules would not be that high on Cary Grant. I didn't think Cary Grant was that cool. So he and Quentin got together and they changed it to, it's like, they'd have to be 10 times more charming than Arnold on Green Acres.
I love those. I had a whole thing. Me and Abby had a thing on Timeless where we said something, we compared it to Martin Luther King, and I was like, no. I was like, let's use Beyonce. Like, it's weird what the what the agreement is. Okay, right. Mad TV. How'd you?
And the other part that changed was I was supposed to get shot twice in the back of the car, but John Travolta told Quentin, it's like, no, man, you can't have me shoot him on purpose or the audience is going to hate me. He had like such a really just like keen sense of his relationship with the audience that, and Quentin said, oh shit, you're right.
Where was your career at when that movie happened? Like, I don't know if you were doing, what were your, like, what, like, you were doing improv with Quentin Tarantino.
I was a member of the Groundlings. I was starting to get my feet wet, doing guest stars on sitcoms. Actually, I remember the fall before Pulp Fiction, I was so excited because I did an episode of The Royal Family with Red Fox and Della Reese.
Yes.
And that was the job that got me to qualify for my insurance.
Yeah, I love Red Fox and Della Reese. Harlem Nights, okay? Della had Touched by an Angel, okay? There is Sanford and Son, okay? Us motherfuckers know this shit. We know our black history. Like, we can't afford to not know this shit. You know what I mean?
See, now, if I was going to be nice to you during voice off, I would have done, Dracula don't suck. Dracula scrape and lick. Which is a line I did as a character using Red Fox's voice in the show Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. But
Never
you
heard
still
of that
wouldn't
show.
have got it.
Never heard of that show. So, okay, so...
Mad TV, right? What was going on? So that's one of the... So this is what I know about Mad TV. I'll tell you what I think. This is why I'm calling it Fan Quest. This is me as a fan.
Don't get it confused with Then Live in Color.
No.
Another damn compliment on Tommy Davidson's work. I'm going to slap you.
Oh, first of all, I love Tommy Davidson because he's always nice to me on red carpets. Flex. So this is what I remember of Mad TV because I think my career had started enough to where I think I actually auditioned for Mad TV, right? Or at least like maybe a character. It was first because so there are three things that are the same in every improv audition for television, right? What did you tell me because it'll be more interesting coming from you.
Well, I mean, at least back the last time I auditioned was 25 years ago. They want you to do characters. They want you to do impressions and what else? And I don't know. And there's always some dude who's going in ahead of you who comes out with a bag of wigs.
That's what I remember. They were like, okay, you got to do an original impression, a character, and then like just like a sketch or like just a weird thing that you've made or something like that.
I remember that because...
No, please.
No, that's the thing. They want you to be able to do impressions because that's easiest for the writers to write. But they also want original characters because that's where the money is. Mm-hmm. Like the audience wants a character and also the recurringness of it. That's what makes it TV. You know? Got it.
I remember that, and so this is what I'll do. I don't know how much time we have. I feel like it might die at any second, but I don't care because I'm just
cuts off at an hour.
I'm getting in a rhythm, and that'll be what it is. If you feel like joining me, you can join me again. If it cuts off, if you don't, then don't do it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's no pressure. You know, we're almost real friends. So I remember doing an impression where it was original character where I was like, are you ready for this? Yeah. Let me hear you say yeah. All right. they're told not to laugh or something, right? They're told not to do anything. So I do this crazy thing, no reaction, and then I go, well, here's a character I played named Uncle Curtis, and it was just like, because I feel like every black person has a character named Uncle Curtis who drives a bus or something like that. What do you remember what your audition for MadTV was? You know what? Before I ask you about that, let me show you a character and let me see if it feels familiar to you.
Wait, Sofa King Super Saiyan, ask about Purple Rain.
Concentration, and frankly, you're getting a headache.
Oh, totally. I know what that's like, you know? It's like when I'm driving at the end of the day, it's like in the sun, and my head's like ding, 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 you know? So usually I just like close my eyes and rub my temples and like count to 10, and then I'm like, whoa, because I'm on the other side of the road, you know?
Yeah.
Nice hair.
That was my original character.
Well, obviously. Obviously,
But I mean,
yeah.
when I came into audition, I had been doing that sketch at the Groundlings, and I brought that character in, along with, thank you, Tina, along with, you know, a bunch of impressions and stuff. Although, and if we get cut off, I'm gonna come back to finish this story. I went into the MadTV audition.
Oh yeah, because I have 50 seconds. So I'm just gonna let the audience know if this dies.
You say you want it, but you don't want to give it to me. You say you need it, but you don't want to give it to me. You say you want it, but you don't want to give it to me. You say you need it, but you don't want to give it to me. You say you want it, but you don't want to give it to me. You say you need it, but you don't want to give it to me. You say you want it, but you don't want to give it to me. You say you need it, but you